Here's an issue that a lot of people have. One thing that you can do to kind of get rid of some of the grief that you experience sometimes in training and some of the negative feelings is to let go of attachment, right? Because
hard to do, baby.
It's
hard.
It is, but here's what happens. One of our biggest problems, people, is we get too damn attached to whatever. So let's say, Mike, you go into training one day and you beat Bob. Well, then you now get attached to the idea that you're somehow supposed to beat Bob every time. So then Bob comes in and then he gives you a down day because Bob friggin' runs you through the ringer. And you feel like something bad happened. Well, maybe not. Maybe Bob just had a damn good day. You had one yesterday. Everybody's going to get their good days. And you got to get rid of that attachment to like because when you're training, it's all over the place. Your training is going to be constantly fluctuating because people are going to get better and then you're going to get better. And you guys just do these ups and downs. It's very, very normal. I remember training and always having ups and downs where some days I'd come in and I felt great and some days I'd come in and didn't feel so good. I know that one of the things that made me more interested in eating a good diet was that I found that when my diet was good, when I was drinking a lot of water, when I was doing all the good stuff that I needed to do, my training was always better. And I found that whenever I ate bad food, I rolled terribly. I remember one of my first rolling sessions when I was training back when I was 18 years old. I got home and like my mom had like bought like Long John Silvers, like that basically just greasy batter dipped fish, whatever. And I ate some of that. Yeah. And I went and rolled later. Bro, I couldn't move. I remember being so frustrated because I just felt sick to my stomach. I remember later on, I remember me and one of my buddies, Chris, we were training. We were purple belts. He was blue. I was purple at the time. We went and ate like some sub sandwich place, right? It's all greasy and stuff, cooked and everything. It's super greasy Philly cheesesteak sandwich. And then we trained like 5 hours later. We both felt terrible. We got back in the car because we lived together at the time. We're driving back to the house and I was talking to him. I asked him, how'd you feel tonight? He said, man, I felt terrible. I was like, I think it's a sandwich, so eating better helps. But as far as the ups and the downs, they're going to happen, right? You cannot control that. You can't control when you're going to have the ups and the downs. So what you do is you show up and you train and you do the best you can. And if you have a down, you can see that down again. We all know this. And again, here's the thing. Like any good story always has something of overcoming, right? And everybody knows, like everybody posts these damn memes, like overcoming the struggle, embrace the suck, all this. They listen to the David Goggins book and they're like, yeah, that's so badass. And then when it's your turn to have your own, you're like, this sucks. Like, well, like, yeah, this is what you're going through, right? So you're having ups and downs. Good. So the ups, when you have them, enjoy them. It's like a sunny day, right? Enjoy the sunny day in the middle of winter. But then there's going to be other times where you're going to have those crappy days and you just kind of go with them. You ride them out. You don't get too attached to them because they're not permanent. They're just a happening. It's not you. Like if you lose, it doesn't mean you're a loser. You lost. You fucked up. You messed up. Ooh, potty words. That one slipped out of there.
That's all right.
I try not to drop the F-bomb too much because I know people listen with their kids and stuff. Beep. But you messed up. So just let it go. Come back and train tomorrow. That said, learn from what you did. Think about what you did that maybe was causing the down. How was your food? How was your sleep? What did you do all day? When you trained, what kind of positions were working? What wasn't working? Learn from those ups and downs. Again, it's important stuff, but the big thing is don't be attached to them, both good and bad, because everything it's a happening in time. It's not permanent. And as we get older, right, like this is something that a lot of times happens for like all of us. A lot of us have trouble. Like I was talking to one of my buddies, he's a black belt yesterday. We were talking on the phone. He's talking about how he doesn't really want to compete much anymore. Too many injuries. He's in his like 40s, like late 40s. He's like, dude, I've been competing since I was like 5 and wrestling and stuff like that. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm like, makes sense. How many people like have trouble like being the warrior at some point in their life and then at some point laying down the sword and saying, listen, that ain't me anymore. I'm not that young guy who's out there trying to prove it. I've already proven what I needed to prove. I've got to move on to a different role, right? And so you've got to allow for what comes, just like the seasons change. becomes wintertime, you don't go say, damn it, this winter, I need summer. Well, no, it's wintertime, you ride with it. And then eventually it becomes spring, and then eventually it becomes summer again. And it's the same thing with your training. When the good days come, enjoy them. Bad days come, you just ride them out, and eventually it becomes a better time if you keep training. That's the way that it works. And again, remind yourself about this, that again, here's your struggle. Here's yours. What are you going to do with it? Again, you get to sort of, you are the master of your own destiny. You can be fast forward 3 years later, and you can say, man, I was struggling my butt off. You could be talking to some other blue belt or white belt, but man, I was struggling. I was doing all this stuff, and I kept doing it, and it worked for me, and you can help them out. Or you can let it fold you. That's up to you. Everybody gets a choice.
It's inevitable, though. Like, as much as you train, if you train, you're going to have bad days. You're going to have training partners that give you problems that are tough roles. Maybe some days you got it, some days you don't.
Yep.
It's just the way it is. There's no way you're going to be on every single day, and sometimes you're going to feel better. Your training partners are going to feel worse, and you're going to have a good day. Vice versa. You know, it's there. It happens. It's hard to deal with. Even for me, I've trained for quite a while, and it's hard. It's hard to deal with some of those days. But you just keep showing up. The nice thing is, like, if you had a shitty day, you're like, man, this was a tough training session. Well, you have the motivation to do better next time. Like, I come in, I'm like, all right, I got messed up last training session, or so-and-so really got me. If I see them, I look forward to the roll. I try to look forward to it, and I try to, it gives me a little more like, not some motivation, but like a little bit more focus. I get more focus, I would say.
Sting.
Like
you get a little sting, and kind of makes you pay attention.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, and also, here's another thing to always remind yourself, too. You're training. You're healthy enough to train. You live in a part of the world that's not stricken by war, famine, or whatever, and disease where you can train. Like, it's a good day. Like, that's a good day, man. Hell, I mean, like last year when the lockdown started, I would have killed, during those lockdowns, I would have killed for just a bad day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so again, if you're training, it's a good day, and count your blessings.